Ready for another one? Well, stay where you are because we've got a nice Deutsch starting affair about to take place here. As Niels Zonneveld takes on that man, the German giant Gabriel Clemens, who was very, very good this afternoon. In fact, he had to be. Defied 112.27 average from Northern Ireland's Josh Rock. Clemens stood up to it and he beat it 6-3. An average of 101.93 for him, but Niels Zonneveld is averaging about 99 for the entire tournament, and 6-3 win against Daryl Gurney, the former champion of this tournament, against a multiple major champion in the next round. Zonneveld won 6-2 over Johnny Clayton. So don't just assume that the man with the slightly better darting CV is going to win this one at a canter, because Zonneveld is playing good stuff, and we've just seen Luke Woodhouse complete a run to his first PDC major quarterfinal. If Zonneveld did that, I think I could categorise it as the same, but we couldn't say it was a first PDC televised quarterfinal, because of course he did get to the World Series last day back in 2021.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The first leg, Gabriel to throw first. Game
Where would your 50 pence be, Paul, if I had a gun to your head?
Well, first of all, put the gun away. But you'd have to go with Clemens.
134.
Easy for me to say because of the darting CV, like you mentioned. But he has thrived at this stage of televised events before, namely last year's Ali Pali Spectacular. But I did say something towards the middle of that Chisnell-Woodhouse match, didn't I? And it has happened.
55.
The two people who have lost on this stage tonight are former semi-finalists in this event. Indeed, Chisnell is a former finalist. It means that
100.
whoever gets through to the quarters from this stage tonight, they will have a chance of their first semi-final. And when you consider Clemens, Zonneveld, Watamina, and Ryan Joyce, they're all going for their first quarter-final. Don't you dare tell me that this tournament is not throwing up surprises.
Is there going to be the biggest surprise of them all? Because I tell you something, Michael van Gerwen is not having it easy against Mario van den Beharde. That's 8 legs shared in that match so far on the main stage.
99.
For some reason, I knew that game was not going to be easy for Michael. Mario is so oblivious to pressure. He's like a granite Easter egg, and you're a plastic fork trying to break him.
47. Gabriel, we require 78.
Sweet start for Clemens.
66.
Jamil, we've seen double 12 missed by a margin quite a few times on this stage tonight.
Yeah, quite a bit. We've seen an awful lot of attention on double 6.
Options on this. I like it. Treble 17 for tops was the route, but he's chipped off the 2.
82.
And then another 80.
Gabriel, we require 12.
There is that double 6 that's been getting a great deal of attention tonight. The German giant would love to make the last 8. He's been hovering at this world ranking for a little bit of time now in the low 20s. First 180 for Zonneveld. Comes right there. Now, I always like to look at the world rankings at this stage of a tournament and think about the possible. If Clemens was to go on and win the tournament, where would he go in the world? Now,
57.
Strangely, it's a scenario that I'm very familiar with, because when I was successful in this tournament in 2010, I went to number 16.
45.
If Clemens was to win the tournament, he would go to number 15. Would that make him the 15th best player in the world? Yes or no?
100.
I think it's a more nuanced question than a simple binary answer could do justice to. I think there are groups of players now. I don't think there's a best player in the world right now. I think there's maybe a top 4 that are very similar. And then maybe another 6 behind them, another 8 behind them.
100.
So is that a no?
You're making the joint 15th best player in the world, but I'm not sure where whether that's also joint 12th and joint 25th as well.
What I'm basically saying is that Clemens would be higher ranked than the likes of Stephen Bunting and Ryan Searle potentially.
Well, he might be level in this game if Zonneveld can find double four, which he does, denying Gabriel a go at the 1-2-1. He's looked in great nick this weekend, Niels Zonneveld. It has to be said, not a player whose name was in my mind on the long drive to Minehead.
Not at all. I didn't even think about him, unfortunately. Sorry, Niels, but I was thinking about other players and what they could do. But isn't it great to see him playing so well and consistently throughout the tournament? And he's not finished yet. He's the lowest ranked player left in this event. And he's already jumped 12 places in the rankings this weekend. And he's not finished yet.
And some players just look comfortable, don't they? He looks comfortable this weekend. He just looks like he's on a practice board at home. No fuss, no thrills.
57.
But as the pressure builds, and it's not from us, it's from himself, let's see how that action stands up to that pressure. Because there's a jump in the right foot. There's a somewhat horizontal left arm with that zigzag style that he has. See that little jump there, and see how the shoulder reacts. If he can minimize that kind of movement, he might just have a very successful 24 hours. But technically, he's got to be good. Mentally, he's got to be solid. And he's up against someone who's found their way to a six-figure check before.
137. Well, you require 70.
One thing I will say is that I think this is going to be the 2-year tour card that Mr. Zonneveld has, where he's not going to lose his card.
62.
I think he's finally figured it out after 2 attempts, after getting a card for 2 years, then losing it, getting it straight back. I think it's going to be third time fortunate for him. I think he will have a card safe in the bank by this time next year. But he could be 2-1 down.
Double one to get the leg in the bank.
No score.
Well, better that he bust that in the end than missed outside and went back for the same target, because Zonneveld isn't taking out the 149. So Clemens will feel more comfortable on the double four than he would on the double one, I'm sure.
Gabriel, you require 8. Game
good plan. Very well executed. And Clemens working a tiny bit harder than he wanted to in that leg, but he is chuntering away to himself. My German lip reading is non-existent, so I've got no idea what he's saying to himself.
99.
Michael van Gerwen has had his little jump in that game against Mario van der Behade. He's averaging 10 points more than the Belgian, but he's just got a break and he's 6-4 to the good now, so 4 away from the finish line.
Judging by that visit from Gabe, keep chuntering.
Yeah, that was a good opener. We've seen plenty of maxis on this stage tonight, but that's the first one from the German giant.
And Mario van der Behade on the main stage has done himself the world of good, because getting to the last 16 has given himself a brilliant chance of keeping his tour privileges. He's in the 2nd year of a tour card, and he is close, very close indeed, to being inside the top 64 now. You've got the likes of Watermina and Joyce and Woodhouse, all outside the top 32 in the world, still in this tournament. And in fact, Woodhouse has definitely got Matas Razma's attention now, because if Woodhouse wins the quarterfinal tomorrow, Razma might have to go to round 1 in the Worlds, not round 2.
Okay, fair enough. Lovely. Superb. Well, that is unorthodox, but you can see the thinking behind it with Zonneveld not on a finish. And that's a rather classy Clemens 1-2-2.
And for a change, you've seen someone hit double 12 with their first start.
Yeah, just to explain the thinking behind it. If he'd missed the bullseye and hit the 25, then 97 would have remained. So treble 19, double top.
Yeah, it's the same philosophy as 1-2-1. You're trying to take the bullseye out of the equation for the end of the shot. If you can get it at the start, he could do something like what he's just done.
Just don't see as many players do it on 1-2-2, do you?
No, you don't. But there are patterns that are starting to occur that are becoming more regular, and that is one of them. It's in its infancy. You're never going to teach someone like Steve Beaton or Peter Wright to do that, but the more progressive players like Gabe, like MVG, like Dimitri, like Aspinall, you're probably going to see that from them.
And the common route on 265 is the 19s. You can leave 170, you can leave 132. Zonneveld decides against that route, interestingly. But gets an even better outcome. But he hit the ball at the start of the last finish.
What a guide that is. He would have loved a shot at the bullseye.
92.
But fair play to Clemens.
He'll require 85.
He's got himself in a really advantageous position here. If Zonneveld misses double 9.
67.
He was kind of moving a lot, wasn't he, as that dart was
He'll
thrown?
require 40.
He does do that. He tends to waver on the oche. And Clemens has got a 4-1 lead here. This may be the most dominant start to a match we've seen here tonight.
Oh, no doubt about that. Luke Woodhouse did lead 3-0 in the previous match, but it was after chances were passed up by Chisnall. Clemens is averaging 99, 10 points more than his opponent. He's had 9 more darts at double than Niels Zonneveld in 5 legs here.
These guys have only played each other a couple of times before. Once last year and once this year.
59.
Zonneveld got the better of Clemens in 2022 in a Players' Championship event by 6 legs to 3. The favour was returned by Gabe this year in Players' Championship 19 by 6 legs to 4. But I assure you of this. This is by far the most important meeting we've had, and the best quality as well.
Brilliant. Oh, it's wonderful. From Gabriel Clemens here. That is a 180 to follow a 180.
83. Real require 95.
He's starting to cook now, isn't he? He's dreaming of a huge, huge advantage at the break. And he may just have it because everything he does at the minute is working. That's 9 perfect darts at the end of that leg. It's exactly what he wanted. Now, you might think that the single 6 is not a perfect dart, but it's what he wanted. It's what he was going for. He's hitting everything he goes for.
Started that leg with 46. And then everything was perfect after it, as Paul pointed out.
Not everybody gets out the blocks. Usain Bolt was not good out the blocks, but he was really good in the last 50. And all of a sudden, Clemens is again averaging over 100 on this stage, just like he did against Josh Rock this afternoon.
It could be Clemens crushing this. Great way he has of finding a way past blocked beds as well. Seen a few incredibly precise arrows slung when it looked like there's no way in.
All Gabe's been doing this weekend is playing young players. He's got another maximum. He's third in 2 legs. Connor Scott in round 1 on this stage, 95 average. 101.93 in beating Josh Rock. And now he's got Zonneveld, another young player. And Luke Woodhouse is waiting. He's maybe just a little shade over young.
Well, all of a sudden a malfunction here from Clemens, but he does tidy up in the end. What an opportunity. Again, that word comes up. But Luke Woodhouse against Gabriel Clemens in the quarterfinals. If he gets the job done here.
Double top. Finds it 6-1, and I assure you right now, the right mindset is to stay aggressive, to stay positive, and say to yourself at this juncture, I want 9-1 at the break. make him pay for not being good enough in the first 7 legs.
180.
I think he might be listening to you, Paul. Has he got some sort of earpiece in?
Yeah, but I'm not talking in German.
121.
Why does it feel like he's got more than the 180s he's got? He's just been incessant.
I thought he might add another one there.
140.
But it's 5 out of 6 starts in the treble 20 bed, and it's potential breaker throw again.
Zonneveld was playing at the level that he was doing in the tournament. He might have been able to handle some of this, but Clemens is white hot right now. 5 maximums in this game. Niels has got a couple, and that's not bad, but it's been dwarfed by this really hot spell from the German. When he's on, 71. He's one of the best in the world to watch.
We require 81.
Double 18. Good guide. Crash it in, Clemens.
63.
Well, these are the chances that Niels Zonneveld simply has to take. He's not been afforded many crumbs.
He's barely had a dart at a double in this game. He's only had 3 shots and hit 1 of them. He's not going to get one here. Clemens can do what he wants.
54.
Will he split now?
We require 18.
9.
Game shot and
Double 9 goes in.
Gabriel Clemens, 9th leg. Gabriel to throw
Nice
first.
comedy timing move. I like it. 7-1, and now that 9-1 dream at the break is very much on. Just look at the face of Clemens.
24.
Maybe a big teddy bear, but I assure you, he's got that brow furrowed a little bit because he is wanting to be within 1 at the break so badly.
60.
I agree. It seems to be the plan.
$99.
What do you do, Paul? You go in a break, 9-1 down in a race to 10. What do you look for? A fire escape?
I've been 7-0 down at the
96.
break in a game that we've already referenced today when Van Geren was beating me in Perth. I ended up winning the next 3 legs, and I lost 8-3. I was very proud of getting those 3 legs because he ended up averaging over 118. But when someone's doing this to you, you've got to set new goals on the fly.
100.
Right now, Zonneveld is dreaming of 7-3 at the break. That's gettable, I guess. But is he playing well enough to get to 7-3 down? I'm not sure he is.
134.
Well, Clemens coming back for 104 for 8-1. And it's one-way traffic right now.
4 16s for tops.
64. Niels require 100.
He thought that was in for a second. So did I. That will not do anything for 145.
30.
And at the minute, he's got Zonneveld in the corner.
40.
And Clemens is punching him at will.
Yeah, that first start was like Clemens was literally on his shoulders when he threw it.
Game shot in the 9th leg. Gabriel Clemens.
It could well
10th
be
leg.
that
Niels
9-1
to
lead.
throw
Zonneveld has
first.
the darts, but he's
Game
got
on.
no kind of confidence after being crushed by the German giant throughout this game.
And this is a sustained 101 plus average again.
And look, the darts dropping low, the head shaking,
57.
overcompensating there, shoulders shrugging, looks like a beaten man.
Yeah, the technique's gone, the head's gone. And I don't blame him because this has been destructive brilliance from a very good player who probably hasn't shown us enough of this year. Well, that's a rather scathing remark, but
60.
Clemens is one of the best players that I've seen over the last few years in playing tournament play, but he's one of the best players not to have a PDC title. There may be something missing
140.
in his armory in order to get that, or indeed to get further in tournaments like this. But this is a performance that he can really cherish
44.
and use going forward, providing he gets it done in quick, smart time. His intensity and his rigidity in his action has been delightful to watch.
Just at one point in the game, maybe when he took out that 1-2-2 that we raved about at the time, he got the 3-1 lead, he started to pull away, and he's just not looked back since. It's become a practice match for him.
And we're talking about a player that in practice matches can do anything he wants. Numerous 9s. He always seems to put them on his Instagram feed. But he does big, long practice sessions to be ready for things like this. He's got best of 19 experience, whereas Zonneveld hasn't got much of it at all.
For 9-1.
48.
No, double. Double was required.
Niels should require 156.
Little lapse of concentration perhaps there, but he'll come back.
He'll fix it next time, judging by what he's done on the doubles in this match.
Gabriel,
I don't think he's going to miss by that margin again, Murph.
Smaller margin. And then doesn't miss at all. And Gabriel Clemens is cruising here against Niels Zonneveld. It's kind of cruel now that there is a little interval, because Zonneveld has to go away and think about losing this big run of legs. It was 1-1. He's lost 8 straight. And Gabriel Clemens needs 1 more to book his place in the quarterfinals. Welcome back to the action here on stage 2.
Gabriel to throw first. Game on.
And it is the 11th leg, as Russ Bray, the referee, has just called, but it could be the last leg because Gabriel Clemens has been cruising
85
in reds. And, well, the face of Niels Zonneveld might be a little red because from 1 apiece, he's lost 8 legs on the spin. And Clemens needs 1 more to book his place in the quarterfinals.
It's one of those scenarios, Murph, where we talk about it being best of 19, but
58.
there might be just as many legs as we've seen in a match this afternoon, which was best of 11. That's how dominant it's been from the German. Niels has only got 1 job left, and that's to try and make things really awkward. Can't go to sleep here as well. I know that you've got an 8-leg buffer. But the quicker you get this job done, the quicker you can go to bed, rest, and get ready for tomorrow, and feel good about the fact that you are in the quarterfinals for the first time in this tournament.
And he's only been in the quarterfinals of 2 PDC majors, the World Cup and the World Championship.
And this one hasn't got the word world in it.
But he'll feel on top of the world should he get there and play a Sunday at Minehead. And that last leg could be over in double quick time.
26. Gabriel will require 78.
Double 12.
66.
Not just yet. I wonder if Luke Woodhouse is watching this. That was a very impressive performance against Dave Chisnell. He hasn't had to wait very long to see his potential opponent. And it looks like it's going to be Clemens.
It absolutely is, and that is a demolition job as Clemens crushes Zonneveld and cruises into the quarters. A big win for the German giant, who booked his place in the last 8 at the Players' Championship Finals. The first time he's made it through to a quarter-final in an individual PDC tournament on TV since that run at the Ali Pali to the semi-finals of the World Championship. An average of 98.6, a brilliant tie-turning 1-2-2 in leg 4, and he never looked back. From 1 apiece, he won 9 legs on the spin and booked his place in the quarterfinals. 1 more match to come on stage 2 tonight. It will be the darting duel between Jermaine Watermaner and Ryan Joyce. Quickly, before we go from this one, I can tell you that Michael van Gerwen is also through a 10-6 win against Mario van der Behada, but it was Clemens who eased past Zonneveld 10-1. We will see you in a couple of minutes' time.